Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you very much for joining me again today for another card making tutorial, and we're using Dragonfly Garden today to make this sort of triple panel card. So there's I've used the stitched rectangles to create three little panels that we've put together there. The colours here are Night of Navy, Bumblebee and Just Jade. Okay, so that's the card we're going to replicate today. Dragonfly Garden, lovely stamp set, and has a coordinating punch to get those dragonflies cut out, which is really fun. And the focus there with the panels, I'm using my stitched rectangles. So I have mine on a magnetic sheet here, and the set comes with sort of like card front sort of nesting shapes, and then we've got these two, and I'm actually using the three largest ones, so my small panels, the large panel, and then the sentiment panel, all use those particular dies there. So we'll just put those to one side. Got those and those, everything else is on blocks ready to go, so we can get those stamped. And of course what we're going to do is change the colours. So I'm actually going to go for a Bumblebee card base, okay, and I'm going to go a little bit more more tonal with the stamping. Okay, so the middle panel is matted onto the coordinating cardstock, just to lift it a little bit from the middle. So there's a scrap of that for that. Already cut one of my smaller rectangles, and then I've got some bits and pieces for some stamping and some more die cutting. So I'm going to stamp my other rectangles, sorry, I'm going to die cut my other rectangles first, and hopefully that scrap is just big enough. So these are literally just scraps. So a lot of the time I will stamp first and then die cut, but for this particular design it's probably easier to do the die cutting first, because you know exactly where you want your, you're going to know exactly where you want your image to go. Entirely up to you. I don't think it really matters which way around you do it, but we're going to do it this way around just for a change. So I'll get those two rolled through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. It's my very well worn plates. Okay, so there's our larger one for the middle, and our other small die cut to create our sort of triptych. Ooh, that's cut really well because it's really stuck into the die. So we'll just push that out, and just put that to one side as well. Okay, so those are our three little die cut pieces ready to stamp onto. So I'm going to use some some scrap paper just to catch any residual ink. Just some offcuts of some grid paper here, and we're going to take our little our daisy grasses and things, get that inked up, and this is cinnamon cider, so that all of these are the 2020 in colours. So we're just going to put an image on each of these little panels. Okay, looks nice in the cider. Just plenty of light tapping on the ink pad to sort of work up and down, because it is longer than ink pad. I'm not going, you know, they're landing where they land. If they're approximately the same, then that's just more by luck than judgment. Last one, make sure we get the bottom on this one just in case we get too close. And here's our last one, just to stamp over the top there. Okay, so there's our 3 panels stamped, ready for our card. And then the other bit of stamping that we need to do is our dragonfly and our sentiment. So our dragonfly is going to go into Misty Moonlight. Just going to make sure that's really well inked. I've chosen the one with the sort of solid body as my main image. So that's there. And before we move on too much, I'm just going to go over that with a Wink of Stella pen. So while that ink is a little bit moist, this Wink of Stella will pick up a bit of that colour onto those wings and add a little bit of shimmer with it too. So that's ready. Now I just want to know whether I can actually get this die onto here without getting in the yeah, I might be able to, but we'll punch that separately, and I'll just grab another small scrap of paper for my sentiments, which I'm also going to use Misty Moonlight for. So I've got a whole box of scraps, you see, so just pulled one out from there that looked like it might be about the right size. So there we are with our Misty Moonlight. Okay. Just while that's drying, we'll punch out our dragonfly. Just line it up. I find if you line up the body and the head nicely, the wings should fall into place beautifully. So there we have our lovely dragonfly punched out. Not using the little one, and we can use a bone folder or something to shape the wings. And if we just press in the middle with the body, we get a nice dragonfly. And I've already done one, and I'm going to layer those together so we get a nice double set of wings on there as well. Alright, so this is done, so we just need to die cut this sentiment. Now the way it's written, it's a little deceptive as to where the centre is. It's the just sort of a bit of an offset one, but we'll just run that through. Just like that, using our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Take away that excess tape. That's going in the bin. We'll just press out our sentiment. Okay, so there's all our die cuts ready. The last thing we need to do is trim out a panel that we can mat our central portion in. So what I did here was measure the die cut, and I'm going to take that to 1 3/4 inches, I think. Bring in my trimmer. So 1 3/4 inches. There's 1/2 3/4. Dark blade cuts, and then the length will be, I'm going to take it to 3 3/4, I think. So 3 1/2, and then half again, 3 3/4. And those will layer together beautifully. Right, bit of assembly then. So let's get this adhered in place. What I might do is just stick my Dragonfly together actually, and that gives it just a bit of time just to set. While I do the other bits, there's my central panel there. Use some wet glue, just a little bit along the body there, only a bit. Don't need a lot of that stuff. Okay, just hold that body together, line up the head. I'll just get that pressed down just for a moment or two, and that will give it time to set while we do the other bits. Okay, bring in our card base. We're going to put in these two next, so again we'll just use some seal. Along those, and I'm going to lie those along the edge of the card. I'm not measuring exactly how high up that is, but I will want to do. But what I will want to do is make sure that the other one is even. So I'm just going to bring in my ruler just to help me line that up and give me something to aim at, like so. Okay, so there's the first portion of our card. So this centre panel is going to go on there, but we're going to raise it up. Okay, now I'm actually going to do double dimensionals on this, so I'm going to put sort of a line down the middle. I'm going to do 4, I think, just to be absolutely sure there's enough security on there. Whip off those backings, and we're going to put another one on top. So we've got a double height, which gives it lots of dimension. Okay. Then I'm going to put this, just going to look for the gap top and bottom, make sure that's reasonably even, and hopefully that's straight-ish. Okay, so we've got loads of raised dimensionals behind there, and that makes it really pop out. The sentiment's going to go across. We want the support at either end, so to match the panel there, we need to put 2 dimensionals on each end. You could put a bit of tape on the middle as well if you want, just to make sure it's secure. I mean, if you didn't want to do the doubling up, you don't have to. I just thought it would be really nice to really give it some oomph, and position that across the middle where you want it. And I might have actually put those too close to the edge. Oh no, it's alright, it's fine. Tucking that one over, then it's fine. So that looks roughly centred to me. There we go. And then all we have left is our Dragonfly, which again we can just do with some wet glue. Just floating off, and that just sort of ties in that misty moonlight colour. And that's it, apart from just a bit of embellishment. So we'll just put on some little actually no, we'll go with these. I used the elegant faceted dots on the original, and I coloured the dots to match. But I think what we'll do with these ones, I'm just going to use the clear ones just to draw the eye in a little bit, but without necessarily adding any more colour. So they're just camouflaged in there, but they'll be nice for the person receiving that card to spot. And that is it. Really, really simple. A different layout for you. There's the original. I like this one. So it's funny how an idea develops, and you have a think about what colours you want to use. Obviously go ahead, mix that up and do what you want with it. It would probably look very nice in a completely monochromatic palette as well. As always, the products I've used are going to be linked in the description. You can shop there. And thanks for joining me. Please do like and subscribe. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you later. Bye.